episode 19, I think, of the 3 Count Out podcast. We have a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot going on. The NFL schedule's been released. We're halfway through the time of no football. We're about to have football back on our screens. We're gonna have the preseason coming up, and then we also have two pay-per-views coming up next week, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's soon? Jeez.
Soon. And also, hey, by the time you're listening to this, did Uncle Howdy debut last night? Maybe. We'll talk about it. Hello, welcome, guys. My name is Era V1, and with me this week, I have my 2 beautiful co-hosts, the funniest men this side of the Mississippi. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'll go first. My name is Mike. I'm just happy to be here again for another one. We keep it going. I'm proud of us.
This just in, Beverly Hills 90210, Cleveland Browns 3. Hi, I'm Jackal.
That sounds like a realistic score, yeah. Hey, we get to talk about NFL.
We get to talk about football.
We get to talk about football. We are.
Yes!
It's been a bit since we've been able to talk about football. I mean, I guess we were able to talk about the draft, but you know,
a couple episodes. That was basically just the extent of, this was a good pick. This was a weird pick.
Yeah.
I like my pick. I like your pick. That's it.
Yeah.
And nobody else watches the UFL besides for me and Peepaw when he's at work.
Hey, I see some headlines. On Twitter every now and then.
Yeah,
you know,
Michigan
every once in a
Panthers
while
guy
I
kicked a
watch.
field goal.
Every once in a while I'll watch a little clip, but that's about it.
That's all you're getting out of us, Dwayne. You don't need any more of my money, damn it. I think, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like championship week for that? Question mark?
No.
Nope. I was wrong.
No, sir.
No, they're getting ready. I think they have 1 or 2 more weeks before they kind of dive into the playoffs. And I believe as of right now, I don't think they're officially in because other teams are so bad. But the Michigan Panthers are probably going to at least get to the playoffs. Are they going to win? No, they're not going to win the championship, but they can at least be there. But yeah, I mean, nobody really cares about the team because there's 2 kickers that are just so much better than everybody else, and they're definitely going to the NFL when this is all said and done.
But there's about to be a spot in the kicker spot in the NFL opening up soon. Did you see the shit about Harrison Butler? Did you see his speech? Wow. I do not agree with those views. So that was
all this women of this university. I know you just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars getting an education, but are you ready to start your true following and become a wife and a mother? What? Why are you booing me?
Hello, I know you just got your degree in nuclear physics, but let's talk about motherhood. The headline I saw was literally, Harrison Butler says women belong in the kitchen. And I was like, what? What does that mean?
Yeah. Could you imagine making millions of dollars and then deciding to put your own foot in your fucking mouth and say some stupid shit like that?
And he's a kicker.
Like,
that
I don't
foot
care
is
that
important.
he was clearly born in the 1950s. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, apparently he doesn't even know how to use it. But, like...
Basically
clearly born in the 1950s and just decided to say, hey, you know what, women? You know where you belong, right? In your kitchen. That's where you belong. Go ahead. Put your feet up when you're pregnant. That's what you're supposed to do. Make babies and make food.
That's right. That's
Thanks,
all you're supposed
Harrison.
to do. That's all you have, huh? If your husband comes home to an uncooked meal, you should expect one across the face. You do. It's so bad. And they're all going to be going on to do, like, you don't got to worry about your promotions and becoming, like, the head of the company or anything when he's the most replaceable role in the NFL. Like,
yeah.
You get a young, fresh kicker coming in. Oh, yeah, you're definitely sending out the old workhorse to pasture. Like, yeah. Jesus Christ.
He's the first to go when they need to save money.
But thankfully, other teams agree with our sentiment, like the Los Angeles Chargers today, or not today, I believe it was yesterday actually, when they were a part of all the other NFL teams releasing their schedules for the 2024 season.
I loved all the videos. I loved it. I love them.
Because the Chargers, we're going to start out with the odds-on favorite for everyone this year. They released their 2024 schedule in the style of The Sims.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. That was wild.
Having all of their opponents in the swimming pool and then taking out the ladder was fucking hilarious. It is kind of sad.
I thought it was a joke.
Right. It didn't look real.
No, I thought it was a joke for a long time, and then I was like, "Wait, that says the Chargers."
That's the official account,
dude. All of the NFL teams had weird fucking reveal videos this year. Go to their TikToks. All. I don't know if they all got together and decided to do it, or if this is just where their social media strategy is at for the NFL. But I saw a fucking hydraulic press video. That was I think that was the Texans. Yeah, it was the Texans. That was how they released their schedule, was using a fucking hydraulic press, and it would smash stuff, and then it would just say who their opponent was for that week. And I was like, this is fucking genius. It came across my For You page, and I didn't even think it was like a football video until I realized what was happening. And then I was like, oh shit, this is... I was like, I thought this is just a normal, like, on my For You page, like, perfect.
Real quick, give me 30 seconds. I'll swoop back to that. Just with the Chargers one, I got a pretty good tie, my little tie-in. I want to get back to it. Chargers, at the end of the schedule release video, they had a sim in the kitchen wearing a red jersey with the number 7 on it, which is also the same number as Harrison Butker. So the Chargers literally put Harrison Butker back in the kitchen where his ass belongs.
Yeah, nah. If you say women belong in the kitchen, you belong in the kitchen. Go make yourself a sandwich, asshole.
With the fucking Texans one, it was so creative to me because they even put the M&Ms on screen, and I didn't even realize that was the fucking Lions until they came outright and said it. It's like, oh, I thought they were just crushing chocolate. I didn't make the connection of Detroit, M&M. I was like, oh my God, this is so entertaining. But the fact that you can have such entertaining ones like that, and I think the Bears put up like a whole sitcom skit or something like that, where they were like back in high school or whatever, and then you get someone like the Packers, where you just get clips of celebrities just saying it. It was just kind of bad and weird. What did the Eagles do?
Yeah, so the Eagles had a little candy bowl. So it was like a mason jar, and then they'd put in candy themed to each different place. So like the Cowboys got cowtails. Like that kind of stuff, like just throwing it in like from each kind of region. I thought it was cool. But I will say Detroit's video kind of sucked. I'm going to put you guys on blast because they were just two comedians that I didn't know that were talking about making a time machine or something. I don't know. They lost me.
It's a very niche thing, and unfortunately,
Tim Robbins is from Netflix. From he has a pretty decent, well-known show on Netflix.
Yeah.
That went right over my head, and I was not the prime demographic for that. But those hydraulic press videos, keep them coming, please.
Jesus Christ. I think the Falcons did something in NFL Street, which was kind of cool, but all of them across the board, it just made me happy to see NFL content being produced, because it's like, we're close. We're close. We're almost there. We're almost 100 days away. Creative content too, no less.
Like not just like a standard here's our here's a picture of our schedule, and here's a little tweet or whatever. Like not just like corporate stuff, but like actual we went out and made a thing, and that's just cool to see.
And if we turn our attention to said schedule, I have a little top 10 right here pulled on up. We're going to go through the top 10 primetime games scheduled for the 2024 season. In the number 10 slot, we got the Week 8 matchup on Sunday Night Football for the Dallas Cowboys going back out to see the San Francisco 49ers. And I think this result is going to be the same as the first because Dallas has not have any luck in San Francisco whatsoever as of late. And I don't think that's going to change next year because San Francisco got better. And I'm going to say Dallas also got worse.
Oh, yeah. No, I think this is easily a 49ers, and they don't watch it. Yeah, here we go. Ain't going to save you. It doesn't matter. They don't have a good track record in San Francisco.
I was trying to think. Did the Cowboys pick up anybody noticeable?
Ooh, they got Ezekiel Elliott back from New England, but they traded for him was $5 and a pack of gum.
Well, I mean, he did run like his kneecaps were on fire last year. He was not. I mean, he was their only offensive weapon, which is saying something. But
I was gonna say he ran like that because his only other option was Mac Jones, so he kind of had to run like that.
It was literally him, and that is it.
Really, and on New England, that is
not a lot to worry about.
No, not at all, because I think New England is. If I had a list pulled up, but I didn't like it on Twitter, and of course that means it's lost to the void forever now.
Yep.
I think
good luck finding it again.
New England only has one primetime game this year. I'm willing to bet, and you lose your quarterback.
Could you imagine saying you're watching the primetime New England game?
Without Bill Belichick or Tom Brady on the team, which hasn't happened since the fucking 80s or something.
Speaking of, quick sidebar, did you see who the potential head coach for Dallas might be?
You're joking. It's Belichick.
What?
He's one of the top names.
Oh, no!
Why can't that motherfucker just retire?
Just go be an analyst somewhere, Bill. God damn it! Stay out of the fucking league.
Why does Bill Belichick? Why does he hate the Eagles so much that he has to go to the fucking Cowboys? He has to go from the Patriots to the Cowboys. Fuck you, Bill.
Fuck.
Just kidding. I love you. Please come. Please. If, we don't have money to interview you, but yeah, come work for the Lions.
I know we're all sort of movie buffs here, so I feel kind of comfortable saying this. Him going away and coming back is essentially the equivalent of Palpatine returning in fucking episode 9. like why can't you just fucking stay dead, old man? Jesus. But turning away from the sad New England Patriots, we turn to the number 9 primetime game of 2024, and it is actually the first game that got scheduled.
Wait, hold on.
For the 2024 season.
Hold on.
What?
If Belichick is Palpatine, who's Brady?
Vader.
Is he Vader? Vader?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Better than Palpatine in every way. Clearly, like the most powerful one.
Him going to the Buccaneers a couple years ago was him turning on Palpatine at the end of 6.
Oh my God, you're right. It was. Yeah, it was him taking his helmet off so he could finally die in peace. He kind of looks like Vader with the helmet off too.
Oh yeah. I mean,
okay, we can continue. I'm sorry. That was just a little bit of touch of the tism in the brain. Just
it was the Star Wars second, brought to you by 3 Count Now.
Yeah. I have a Star Wars tattoo. I'm allowed to talk about Star Wars when it's brought up.
We're going to activate another part of your brain's tism right now as we turn to the number 9 game, as the Green Bay Fudge Packers will be taking on your Philadelphia Eagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
That's going to be such a good game.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Neither team's going to know how to play.
Yeah,
no,
it's going to be
not
great.
At all.
Wait, when did you say that was going to be?
September 6th.
1.
So it's not the first game of the season, because I believe the first game of the season is Thursday Night Football, but it is going to be the next game afterwards.
Yeah, it's the opening game Friday.
Going to be in Sao Paulo, like 97?
It's going to be very hot. It's going to be warm.
Great. I cannot wait to just watch Saquon book it through Brazil. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm so excited for this game, specifically for one reason and one reason alone, and that's going to be the atmosphere. I think it is
hell yeah.
fucking electric in Brazil. Kind of like how, we've been having all these WWE shows go to all these foreign countries outside of America, and the fans are just fucking rabid, and you're going to go to somewhere like Brazil. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now, dude. I think it's going to be really good.
Plus, I mean, like, if you want to talk about a team that feels like they have something to prove this year, that is, which I'm sure this is probably coming out of like every team's like press right now, but the Eagles is what I'm seeing, and man, they sound locked in. Like, I saw an interview, and they were just like, it was just like with a whole bunch of different players, and like every single player was like, yeah, last season we fucked up, it ain't happening again. And they're just like so ready to go. And I'm so ready for the season to come back.
You got Matt Patricia out the building too.
We got Matt Patricia out the building. Yeah, we have Matt Patricia out the building. We had a solid fucking draft. We have Saquon Barkley. We lost Jason Kelsey, but sorry, Jason. Enjoy your retirement, but hey, he'll probably be in Brazil. I don't think he's, that sounds like a free vacation.
You think he's going to miss out on Brazil? Come on now.
He probably will be, because that's going to be his last hoorah for the season. On a quick side note, as RG3 gets fucking canned from the Monday Night Football cast as its replacement is Jason Kelsey.
I didn't know that.
RG3 got Jason on Mondays, fired, and they brought in Jason Kelsey.
What an upgrade.
That was very fast. Like, I love RG3. He coined there's an orgy in the end zone, but man, they moved fast. They moved real fucking quick. Yeah. There's like, okay, we can do football shit again. All right, RG3, get the fuck out. Jason Kelsey, you're coming in.
So who's going to take the orgy line? You think it's going to be Jason Kelsey? Do you think he's going to be yelling there's an orgy in the end zone?
If he covers a Michigan game this year, I certainly hope so.
You better.
But no, again, another quick little tangent about football. The football autism is getting all sparked up in everybody again. I like it. I've been kind of scrolling on TikTok, and we've been getting stuff from fans and other analysts, and sort of the consensus 1, 2, and 3 seeds this year for the NFC have been rotating between the Niners, the Eagles, and the Lions. I think those are sort of the consensus teams that could take the 1st through 3rd seeds this year, and I'm all fucking for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a season. Just know that, when the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, it's nothing personal.
Personal.
Listen, I'm sure the Eagles and the Lions, I'm sure we're gonna be the last 2 in the NFC. Don't take it personally.
I hope to God, because an NFC championship without San Francisco in it is an NFC championship I want to watch.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we can pretty much already kind of think about the playoffs, right? It's going to be, it's got to be Lions, Eagles, San Fran.
Whoever's going to win the South,
Texans,
probably say Tampa.
Texans, Baltimore, and Kansas City, because Kansas City is always in the fucking playoffs.
So.
Yeah.
2 teams that Mike did not list right there, and the number 8 spot for the primetime games this year is the Denver Broncos traveling to New Orleans as Sean Payton returns to Louisiana for the first time since stepping away as head coach of the Saints. Not going to be,
the crowd went
mild, very mild for that one. I think this is also coming from NFL.com, credible source. I think they're just trying to plug this one a little bit more to up the old Amazon Prime Video sales, because this is going to be a Thursday night matchup available on Prime Video that I will more than likely not be watching closely and will just sort of have on the background as background noise.
I just watch my football on Twitch.
Hey, there you go. That works. We're going to gloss over that one quickly as we go down to the number 7 primetime game. We look at the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud welcoming in the number 1 pick Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears in week 2 for Sunday Night Football.
That should be a good game. It looks like the Bears are actually trying this year. Not hard, but they're trying. The Texans, though, oh man, that team is young and fucking hungry.
It should be a good game between these two, but I'm also very much expecting the Texans to run away with it at one point.
Yeah, that Texans team, I think that's going to be one of those. They keep on not talking about them that much, but I think that's going to be one of those sleeper teams that's going to go real far.
Very far. They made it to the divisional round last year where they ran into a fucking buzzsaw in Baltimore, but I have a kind of a hunch that
it also didn't help that they were down to what? One wide receiver?
Yeah, they were basically
and like their backup running back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they had Pat McAfee running the ball, and that's saying something. Let's see as we go on down to number 6.
Actually, real quick, before we go, I just wanted to say one thing about New Orleans because they still have Derek Carr as their quarterback, I believe.
Oh yeah, famous Jameis.
And I know they use Taysom Hill as 87 different positions, but anytime he's been in quarterback, it seems like things have gone better for them, and they're still like, no, we want to put him at tight end instead. Why? Why are you paying Derek Carr like $100 million? Knock it off.
His ass is fantastic.
If you got a tight end, you got to be the tight end. Them's the rules.
But he's a tight end, he's a wide receiver, he's a running back, and a quarterback. They've used him at all 4 positions.
A renaissance man. Many talents. Triple threat.
Because I think I figured it out. Because the Saints are still $100 million in negative cap space. They don't have the money to pay him quarterback money. They're like, we're gonna delegate you to a fullback, running back, tight end hybrid, so that we don't have to pay you $50 million a year. Okay, bud, appreciate you. Thanks for taking a team deal.
Yeah, it's like when you're short-staffed at work.
Basically.
Hey, listen, we don't have a tight end or a running back. Well, they have Alvin Kamara, don't they? But they're like, you know what? We need you to do all of it.
Listen, man, we're going to need you to throw and catch the ball to yourself.
I mean, when Alvin Kamara's not beating his family members, he's a pretty good football player, allegedly. Allegedly.
Well, that's just it. Allegedly, if he stays in the league, he's going to be, I think he's on record with like the same type of yardage as like Barry Sanders and all them.
He's good. He's
through the first 7 seasons.
But not going to be good enough to carry the Saints to a winning record, probably because that defense is atrocious.
Well, the rest of their team's bad. Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Saints.
We turn to the number 6 of the top 10 primetime games for 2024. The last game of the 2024 calendar year has your Detroit Lions traveling out back towards the Bay Area to avenge their NFC Championship loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Let's hope
that happens.
I fucking hope so. I also hope that we have the division wrapped up. I hope we have a playoff seed secured at this point, and we're just playing for positioning. You know, like if this is a fight for the number 1 seed, I think this game is going to be a fucking barn burner.
Yeah, especially being at the end of the season. That's like, that's when everything's picking up, and like, you know, the playoffs is when that's when the real stuff begins.
Yep.
That's the thing, though, where it could also be like, instead of, you know, both teams throwing out their absolute best, they're like, it's the final game of the season. We're both in the playoffs. Fuck it, put in your third string. Let's see what third string versus third string can do.
Absolutely. In a perfect world, you know, I think both Lions and Niners fans, as much as they want a good game, they would also prefer, like, for example, the Lions have the 1 seed secured and the Niners have the 2 seed secured. Like, no matter what the outcome is, that's going to be the playoff seeding. So, sure, they can play the game just to avenge the loss, but in hindsight, it's the last game. They could rest a lot of people by that point.
But it's also, now that I say that, who's our coach? Dan Campbell. Is he going to rest people? Absolutely fucking not.
Fuck no, we're going for it on fourth down again.
You better get 300 yards receiving this game, goddammit.
And speaking of championship rematches, we turn to the number 5 slot as it is a rematch of the AFC Championship for the first game of the 2024 NFL season as the Baltimore Ravens are traveling to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
We're keeping that name? I'm down. I'm down for it.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that survived.
They should just change it at this point.
I don't think anybody would be opposed to that. Maybe except Harrison Butker, because, God forbid he's associated with anything feminine.
Well, yeah, he wants Taylor Swift to stay in the kitchen. She can't be up there in the box watching the games. Is there a kitchen in the box?
Well, she can, but she has to have a sandwich and a beer ready.
Yeah, right. Yeah, ready to give him a foot rub or something. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
As soon as the game's done, she needs to be down there, right up in Travis's face. Here you go.
Gonna call it now. I also think Kansas City comes out flat because the Lions walked into Kansas City on the first game of the season last year and knocked off the Chiefs. I think Baltimore does have the firepower to do that again. I am very well aware that there was no Travis Kelce and, oh God, what's his fucking name? D-tackle Chiefs, right in the middle.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Whatever
He's a good one.
D-tackle name is. The name escapes me at the moment. I apologize. But Baltimore is a little more well-rounded. And the thing with Baltimore is that they're damn good when they're healthy, but they're not 100% healthy by week 4. So Baltimore at 100% should handle the Chiefs.
I think we can just say this now based off of last year. I think Kansas City is just going to limp dick their way into the playoffs. And then all of a sudden they're going to become a fucking super team. Because, they played like absolute trash all season last year. And then all of a sudden
get the playoff spot.
Yeah. So, dude, are they going to beat any of the big teams in the regular season? Probably not. But will they also care? No, they won't. They're going to wait till the playoffs again, where their defense is going to carry their ass to a victory.
Because they're in the same division as the bumfuck Raiders, the dipshit Bo Nix Broncos, and the year 1 Jim Harbaugh Chargers. They basically have another free pass to win the division again, and I hate it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I think that's all we need to say on that one. I'll kind of gloss through these final couple ones, because we've already said more than we need to. Like the number 4 slot, I think we talked about on one of our earlier episodes, as we have the Los Angeles Rams traveling back to Detroit, the Goff versus Stafford 2 Electric Boogaloo rematch for the first game of Sunday Night Football, which I think is going to be a very good matchup again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope that Detroit is at least a little bit nicer to Stafford this time. I get it was a game that decided stuff last year. It was a game that meant something last year, but like Stafford did almost destroy his whole body for Detroit. Can we give him at least a little bit of flowers? I know we were like, yeah, you won a Super Bowl, but like he's coming back. Show him some fucking respect. Don't just be like, fuck Stafford. If you wear a jersey, we're gonna kick your ass. Like, come on.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen again. I don't think we're gonna boo him out of the building. I don't think none of that. Or at least, sorry, I shouldn't say I don't think. Let's just say I hope none of that happens.
Aaron, did you see any of that last year? Where
didn't they threaten his family?
But then
that's just Kelly Stafford being Kelly Stafford.
Yeah, okay. But there were groups that were like, if you wear like a Stafford jersey, we're gonna boo you out of the fucking building. Like nobody should be supporting him. And it's like, really? You guys are gonna be this fucking petty?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I saw some of that online last year, but also I'm an Eagles fan, so I just kind of looked at it and went, yeah, okay, and you get beat up for wearing the wrong jersey every week. What are you talking about?
That is true. We are preaching to the wrong fan base about sportsmanship.
I understand what you're saying.
It's literally only the city of brotherly love.
It's brotherly something. I don't know if I call it brotherly love, but yeah, no, like I get it. Like he's like he did so much for the Lions. Like you can't, like, yeah, we could be like, hey, you know, you suck, blah 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 blah, but it's like it has to be as a joke. You can't actually mean it. Like, come on.
Yeah. So that is number 4, and number 3 should be a barn burner matchup, in my opinion, as it is the Battle for Texas on Monday Night Football in Week 11. Houston traveling to Dallas. I don't think we all have much to say about this one, except I'm gonna put a wild bet out there that we all want Dallas to lose on that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fuck Dallas.
Yeah.
My anti-Dallas, I'm still there. I haven't moved. Fuck Dallas.
Me neither. We remember that final play that we got cucked out of a win last year. The number 2 matchup is the first Monday Night Football game of the year, as the New York Jets is traveling out to the Bay Area yet again to take on the 49ers. And the challenge this year is to see if Aaron Rodgers' Achilles lasts more than 4 plays.
Are the Jets going to be wearing those shitty jerseys?
Actually, those shitty jerseys you showed me earlier today are the Giants.
Oh, right. Sorry, it's the other team. Right.
Real
Sorry.
quick, those fucking Giants jerseys suck.
Oh, they suck ass, dude. They're so bad.
Much.
They look like fucking soccer jerseys that I'd wear as a little kid. Like,
it's so bad, dude. I even said on TikTok, I replied to your comment. I said "ew" in all caps. And TikTok told me that they removed that content because it violated their bullying policy.
Don't bully me.
Yeah, I guess me saying that.
You know what'll happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get banned off of TikTok.
Well, I mean, they're gonna ban it anyway. So I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And the number 1 primetime matchup this year, they have the Week 12.
Wait.
Oh.
I know who it's going to be, obviously. It's got to be the Giants versus the Broncos. That would be the game we all want to see, right?
Nope, it's the Giants versus the Carolina Panthers in Germany, baby.
Deutschland.
Fuck
The game we all want to see.
Wiener Schnitzel Pretzel. Danke.
I love, they tweeted that out and McAfee replied to it. It's like, Germany, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you get this matchup.
Sorry, guys.
It is the Week 12 Monday Night Football matchup, as Baltimore is traveling out to LA as the Harbowl number 2 gets underway as the Ravens take on the Chargers just a few days before Thanksgiving.
Oh, boy. That's the one everybody's excited most about? That
What
one?
are you thankful for this year?
Jim, well, I was going to say Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan, but I guess we'll save the college football talk for later. I think that's like the last primetime game that's good, because there's a slew of other games that are better than that one, but just they're not in primetime slots, and the article I looked up was best primetime game, so I guess that's the reasoning behind that, because I would easily put, like, I don't know, the fucking Super Bowl rematch of the Niners and Chiefs again, but I don't think that's in a primetime slot, so.
Did Tony Khan always have 2 games in the UK? He has 2 games in London he's Tony Worldwide. He's over there fucking over there at AEW and fucking NFL, and this thing's just getting tons of free trips at this point. That's what I'm convinced. But
we don't need to worry about our carbon emissions. We think we need to talk to Tony Khan about all of those goddamn private jets he's taking halfway across the world every single time he wants to go see his dad. So you guys like all these international games, though, right? Because I do. And for the record, I also like. I know that we've said in the past that it's just soccer chants and that it's stupid and that they'll pop for anything. But I like international WWE shows. I like international AEW shows. I like international football games, because these crowds never get this. And like the fact that they're rabid for anything is good and bad, but like, how can you not like watching it when they're so into it, right? Like, we could sit there and be like, well, this match is shit and they're just doing it for whatever. But also, like,
they're gonna love it no matter what. Germany doesn't give a fuck. You know, they'll take it.
Giants and Panthers, it's so bad. no
need a good crowd just to make it interesting.
Yeah, honest to God. Especially if those Giants wear those terrible uniforms too. That's like a double whammy of negative. But a double whammy of positive, we can spend just 2 minutes talking about this. I just want to bring it up. College Football 25 is finally going to be coming back to video game consoles again.
Thank God.
And I'm so excited for it.
That's going to be such a good game.
The first game. Well, I want to see gameplay. They have not released gameplay yet. They have released the cover art, and they've put Travis Hunter out of Colorado, and Colorado's. If Deion Sanders doesn't go there, this dude does not get on the fucking cover. 100%. Quinn Ewers out of Texas, phenomenal quarterback, will be a first-round draft pick, and Mr. 2 TDs in the natty himself, Donovan Edwards, on the cover. Beautiful thing. The NCAA football disappeared while a Michigan football player was on the cover, and it came back with a Michigan football player on the cover. We fucking take those. Dude, let's go.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I
could be. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm excited because of all of the stuff that I've seen about like all the details and stuff that they're putting into it of like actual real stadiums and like hey 2K, take some fucking notes, because like the fact that they're actually like reaching out to all of these players and like there's gonna be people on. Yeah, they could make people up for half these schools and you wouldn't know. Like the fact that they're actually putting in the time and the effort, and they're looking into like what are the school's chants, what music would you hear in the arena, what traditions do they have, and all of this stuff. It's like it that's just awesome. And like just seeing a game developed at that level nowadays, I feel like is a little like not that you can't find like games that are really really good, but I just feel like it's hard to find games nowadays that actually have a level of care put into them. So seeing that stuff, it's like, man, as long as it plays somewhat like Madden, I'm cool with it and I'm happy with it.
So, for example, like, since I'm not super familiar with it, I know everything that would go on at Michigan, for example. What would be something, say, for, I don't know, Penn State, that they would include in the game to be like, holy shit, they got it. Like, they fucking nailed it. Yeah,
I mean, I don't really know music-wise, just because they changed that. But
I
would... Dog, I've gotten the shit faced more than a couple times screaming Mo Bamba at the top of my lungs, all right? But listen, like I think tradition wise, like when the players win, like you have to ring the bell when you walk back through the gate, that kind of stuff. Like for me it's gonna be like, do they have a whiteout? Do they have a stripe out? Like, do they have stuff like that like, maybe they don't get ringing the fucking bell on your way back or whatever, but like getting like the big stuff like that you can look. I hope they do, but like at the same time, if you don't hear a bell ring, you're not going to be like, well, this isn't a Penn State game. But like if you're like if you're supposed to be in Beaver Stadium and you look around and it's surrounded by a whole bunch of drunk people wearing all white, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in a Penn State game. And like I hope they at least get that level where it's like you can look at it and you can be like, this is the team that it is, And I hope that they don't just do like a placeholder uniform design, Like, yeah,
absolutely.
Just because like Penn State doesn't have like the names, they don't have player names on the jerseys. So like I hope that they like get the details like that of like you don't have to have like a photo scan perfect pixel accurate thing, it's not like a WWE 2K game where people are getting that close to see, but at the same time I hope that they at least like hit the major details.
You like if this guy on the team, if number 69 is a white guy, make sure he's a white guy and not a black dude,
Yeah,
I don't need a photorealistic face scan of the fucker, but just like make sure it's still good.
Well, yeah, I mean they're wearing football helmets. You don't need a photorealistic scan of the dude.
Exactly.
I hope that they're at least close though.
I know people are just worried that they're gonna make Madden, but instead of the Lions versus the Eagles, they're just gonna repaint it to look like the Wolverines versus the Nittany Lions. So I just hope that it's actually going to feel different from Madden. I don't need a completely different game. It's just I don't want it to be a Madden reskin. So
I wanted to almost.
What I was going to say before.
What's up?
Was if they do the gameplay, I know they're doing all this other stuff, and I think that's going to make the game better than it ever was. But if they were to come out and been like, "Hey, you remember the last NCAA game we put out? It's just going to be that again, but with way better fucking graphics." I'd have been like,
"Yep,
you know what? I'll buy it."
Perfect. I'm there.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to feel like. Yeah, I wanted to feel like an old NCAA game because they were great. They were so fun to play.
To the point of it, I know, like the way you were saying that you didn't really want like photorealistic. I know for a while there, that was something they were thinking about doing, was like doing that for all the players. And I was like, you realize how many players there are, right? It's not like a wrestling roster. You're talking about hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Just put names on jerseys and make them the right color. We're good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Make it look close enough where I can look at, if a guy is a 6'7", 300-pound white guy, I want him to be a 6'7", 300-pound white guy. It doesn't have to look like him, but
That's it. The basics.
Yeah.
And I know we have a couple content creators amongst us, but I'm gonna ask a question for the group, and I think we all have the consensus answer here. But just to put pen to paper, can listeners expect some 3 counted out content made in the new NCAA game?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, baby, you better believe it. I'm probably not. I'm not going to speak for you, Era, and I'm going to probably say you're going to agree with me. I don't think we're going to do anything involved with like the MUT, the stupid trading card mode.
Oh no!
Unless people really want to see it, can't really be persuaded to do it. If my faction sucks, I don't want to touch the other one either.
I can be persuaded by a comment, a sizable amount of comments asking for something. So if it's something that people want and people say that they want it, we'll do it. But just for the record, all these card games suck ass.
Yeah.
And the first thing you do if somebody asks for it, you make sure you swat them on the nose and you say, no, it's bad.
Not happening.
And then if they insist, then you can cave, but only then.
Well, Mike, you know who else got swatted? Ilya Dragunov got swatted away when Jey Uso beat him to advance further in the King of the Ring tournament, baby.
Yes.
Look at that transition.
Down,
Look
Ilya.
at that transition.
Sit your ass back down, boy.
And that's only because
the yeeter of worlds.
Only because we couldn't get Ilya versus Gunther on Raw. Okay, that has to be on a bigger stage. That's all. That's the only reason.
I'm okay with that.
Save that one for Berlin.
All you knew.
I was a little upset at first, but once I took a step back and thought about that, I was a lot more okay with the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, yes, it is kind of dumb having Ilya lose. It kind of kills a lot of momentum that he already had, but at the same time, Ilya just got up. Like, we got plenty of time left for Ilya. Like, barring any horrific injuries or whatever, we have plenty of time left with Ilya. He's gonna be fine. He lost to Jey Uso. Like, this is a dude that is in the contention for being the world heavyweight champion. It's fine.
Now,
it was an okay loss. It was an understandable loss. And it was still a great match anyway. It's not like he got his ass kicked either. It wasn't a squash match.
One thing I wanted to get, because I saw it on Twitter today. Sorry, X. I saw it on X today. And I wanted to get both your guys' opinion on it. So, I mean, you guys remember Jey Uso before all this stuff. Mm. Do you think Yeet has ruined his character, or do you think it's made it better?
I I mean,
or neither, I guess.
I think it's been a good decision to kind of just give Jey Uso the word yeet. I think it's really smart from a decision of making merch, because you can put yeet on anything and sell it.
True.
I think in terms of him as a performer, it gives the crowd a way to get involved. It's something they like. It's evolving. Like, France brought out their flashlights, and that seems to be something that's sticking. At least probably until Wyatt comes back, or I'm sorry, until Uncle Howdy comes back. We'll talk more about the Wyatt family, though, because there was some shit that happened. Like, literally at the time of recording this, it happened 3 hours ago.
Damn.
So yeah, it happened over on WWE's Twitch channel. I was talking about it in the group chat because I was just so fucking into it. We'll talk about it. But I think my problem with Jey Uso and yeet is, like, what happens when Jimmy comes back? What happens when they're the Usos again? Because it's gonna happen. Is Yeet gonna stay around? Are they both gonna be yeeting? Because right now Jimmy Uso is no yeet. So, like, there's gonna be, like, I feel like that's gonna be a lot of, like, well, is this person turning heel or not? And it's like, well, is he gonna be yeet or no yeet? And it's like, this is just gonna be a lot of what we're talking about now when it comes to Jey Uso. It's just like, well, this person didn't like the yeet, and this person did, and blah 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 blah. And it's more so like, how do they interact with that versus, like, yeah, Jey Uso versus Gunther would be a great match because they're both amazing pro wrestlers and they're both great entertainers. Instead, it's, well, Gunther's no yeet. So, you know, because Gunther doesn't let people yeet, that's why he doesn't like Jey Uso, because because Jey Uso yeets. And it's like, or we can make this about a championship. We can make this about, you know, maybe the World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe you put, you know, Jey Uso on fucking on SmackDown and you give him the United States Championship, which that's another thing that we have to talk about, because I think there's going to be Cody 2 belts coming up. But I don't.
If you're going to make that jump right now, if Logan wins the belt for some unforsaken reason, I quit the podcast. I quit watching wrestling. I'm jumping off a bridge.
But no, to bring it back to the yeet stuff, I don't think it's bad. I just don't. I don't really. I like there's a cap to it. You know, at a certain point, it's going to be, it's Jey Uso. He's the yeet guy, and it's like, you're not. I thought main event Jey Uso, where he was just really, really, really good and deserved to be in that main event spot. I thought that was better than just, like, eat Jey Uso. It's fun.
Yeah, having a snappy catchphrase.
Yeah, right. That's all it is. It's just, it's fun, but at the same time, like, you have to wrestle in the WWE now. Like,
yeah, that was the one thing, is people going, like, he used to be main event, now he's just a guy that says yeet.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question from my perspective, and I'm very, very classified. I have taken a college creative writing course.
Of course.
I think with the whole yeet stuff, from my perspective, it's character suicide, because it has turned him into such a one-trick pony that it's almost laughable at this point, you know? If we're talking specifically in a character aspect, it sucks. It's terrible, because it's just Mr. Catchphrase. He basically comes out, say the line, yeet, yippee, and then he walks to the back. The character aspect, that's all you're getting. In terms of getting him over with the fans, however, I think it's fucking gold. They got to use this as a launching point, like how France figured out how to do everything, like bobbing up and down with their phones. I think that's fucking awesome. They should take that and bottle it up and try to catapult that into something new for him, where it's an actual character as opposed to a word.
I would love to see, going back to Jey Uso with the flashlights, and him even saying, like, it's, him even, obviously working with Bray Wyatt and just the camaraderie and the stuff that they had, like him being like, yeah, the hashtag, like, Yeeter of Worlds, and, like, calling them the Fireflies and stuff. I almost want when Uncle Howdy or the Wyatt Six or the Wyatt family or whatever I think they're probably still going to be called the Wyatt family. But like I want when they come back, they have the ability to tell a really good story and pull Jey Uso past just the yeet guy, and we saw it with Bray Wyatt, where Bray Wyatt would almost like turn people, like he would change something about them after they had a match with them, and I feel like, I don't know if Uncle Howdy's going to have the same gimmick or whatever, but I feel like at the very least, that's going to be something where people are going to have their eyes on, and that's going to be something where the character of Jey Uso and how he's able to fight out of these monsters, because at this point we have the names for the Wyatt family. It's being rumored right now, obviously still unconfirmed, but let me get it pulled up here because I saw a list.
Beautiful transition, by the way. That was wonderful.
Braun.
This is what's being rumored as the new Wyatt family. We have obviously Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, whatever you want to call him. We have a returning Eric Rowan. We have a Joe Gacy. We have Nikki Cross. We have Dexter Loomis and possibly Alexa Bliss, but she's not listed. But at the same time, she is established as Sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail has been in a lot of teasers. And I think she's coming back from maternity leave soon, so it does line up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
that timetable.
And she's been in the gym.
She has, she's been very active on social media too, about like being in the gym and getting, getting stuff back together and being like, I'm gonna see you guys soon and stuff. And I think that's great. I think the Wyatt family is going to spread between all three shows. Yeah, I think so. To go back at the time that we're recording this happened at 4:00 today. By the time that you're hearing this is Saturday. Uncle Howdy may very well have debuted on SmackDown at this point, because today over on WWE's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WWE. You're welcome, Paul Levesque. I just gave them a shout out. But I think it's supposed to be. Do you remember the Fiend's therapy session?
Yeah,
vaguely.
So this stream,
with a therapist that went quote unquote missing.
Yes. Wendy Lucho, which is an anagram for Uncle Howdy. So if you take the letters in Wendy Lucho and you mix them up, you can get Uncle Howdy out of that, which is a common serial killer thing. You're telling me she wasn't a
real therapist?
No. Well, she may not have been a real therapist, but what they did do is they recorded an hour-long therapy session in which she talked to someone. You never saw who she was talking to. They were sitting off camera. We don't know if it was the Fiend or if it was Uncle Howdy or if it was somebody else altogether. Essentially, what they did was they took every single thing that they have hidden in all of the QR codes and everything like that, and they put it into legitimately an hour-long vignette. It is awesome. It at one point the therapist is like asking questions to this person off camera, and it starts like cutting in with like the static stuff, doing the Bray Wyatt thing. But it starts cutting in, and the therapist is like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave and go. I'm gonna put this notepad down, and I'm gonna go leave for a couple minutes, and you write down what you want to write down, and I'll come back and we'll talk about it." And she says something along the lines of like, "I'm gonna open the door and walk into the hall," or something like that. And as soon as she says "open the door," as soon as she says that, all of the staticky shit, all of the Bray Wyatt stuff, everything, it starts like ramping up, like really kicking up. There's about like a half hour into the stream. If you're trying to scrub through it, it starts like kicking up, that kind of thing. And there's like this weird static, and there was a mirror that had the reflection of Bray Wyatt's face
What?
Which was fucking weird. The therapist comes back into the room after a couple of minutes, and because it's supposed to be a live stream, so they didn't just cut it out. They left it running. So she comes back into the room after a couple of minutes, and she's like sitting there and going through all of the packets, and it's all of the pictures and all of the drawings that Bray Wyatt made that he didn't get to use because there was a whole bunch of stuff that he made when he was coming back. They showed it in the documentary, but they were also using that in all of the teasers and stuff leading to all the Uncle Howdy stuff that they're doing now. So all of that imagery, they at one point she's like reading some of the answers out loud, and they talk about how whoever she is sitting across from, the person off camera, they talk about how they followed the words of the red, which people assume to mean Bray Wyatt, and that they rescued lost souls, is what they called them. They rescued them from the Cave of Despair, was how it was written. And the Cave of Despair, that's popped up a couple times on all the Bray Wyatt teasers and stuff. Because Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, they mentioned this in the doc, but they actually, when Bray Wyatt first got cut, one of the projects he was working on was a show with Bo where they traveled the country and looked at urban legends. And one of the pilots that they shot was exploring a haunted cave. And that is actually at one point there was the coordinates, and the coordinates went to the cave that they explored. Anyway, it basically ends. It ends, I think, with whoever is supposed to be off camera. I think killing the therapist. The therapist is like reading through all this stuff, and basically when she gets to like, I rescued them from the cave, she's like, who's them? And as soon as she says like, who's them, it gets all staticky, and it basically cuts away from the therapist, and you get purely into the Bray Wyatt imagery. We see Sister Abigail show up. We see one of the first drawings of the Fiend. We see Uncle Howdy pop up a couple of times in these. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and this kind of seemed like the recap stream. And I legitimately think on SmackDown that we're gonna get the Wyatt family back, and I am so fucking excited. I hope, I really hope that I hope that they give them the time to do what they want to do on TV. Because like,
oh yeah,
that was a problem with a lot of the stuff with like the Fiend and things like that, is like they were always cutting time from segments, and they were always like, well, this promo is 10 minutes long, so we're gonna put it here, or we're gonna cut it down, or whatever. And it's like that. It's storytelling. Like, you can't just cut some of that stuff. So I think he's going to debut soon. I hope that they just do it right. Another thing is that apparently Uncle Howdy has just been standing out in the crowd in Monday Night Raw. Yeah, there's a clip going around on Twitter of, I think it was actually during the Jey Uso Ilya match. But Uncle Howdy is just standing there menacingly. That's the only way I can describe it. And he's
just standing there menacingly.
But they didn't have any kind of spotlight on him at all. The way that people saw him is because there were people walking past. I'll have to see if I can find it, and I'll try to tag you guys in it. But there were people walking past him, and I guess they had like the lights just kind of like flinging back and forth in the crowd, and like they like grazed him, and it kind of looked like they were trying to like spotlight Uncle Howdy a little bit and then pull it away. Like, it looked like maybe it was intentional. but he's there, man. He's just been standing out in the fucking crowd watching the show.
That's
I mean,
cool.
he likes it too.
That's so cool. I am so, because I know for a fact that would not happen if Kevin Dunn is still here. I am so glad that they're trying to actually experiment with stuff like that.
Seeing WWE on Twitch was wild.
Yeah, right? Jesus. I will say though, not to be a little damper on everything, I do think it's at the point now where a debut is needed. Like, I think we're going on about a month and a half of teasers and everything. Yeah. I can only be teased for so long before I kind of start to lose interest a little bit. Like, okay, this is at its boiling point. Let's pull the trigger on it, please. Like, let's get something going. Give me. I've had the entree. I've had the appetizers. I'm ready for the entree. Give me the meat and potatoes. Let's get this ball moving.
Yeah, and especially like after an hour-long stream of this, right? Like, yeah. How much more can you do? I always thought the cool part was that this stuff wasn't really easy to find, which, I mean, hey, not everybody may be on Twitch. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/everyone, but, you know, not everyone may be on Twitch, so maybe some people lost it. Maybe some people didn't see it at all, but I think the fact that they streamed it and they never showed, like, he never stepped in front of the camera, clearly. He had, like, cryptic images and stuff, but, like, they didn't show any of the wrestlers. So I think they're really trying to be like, hey, the next thing to see at this point isn't going to be any of the cryptic shit that we're doing, because we just showed that to you. The next thing to see is the people. And they've been pretty consistent of every show. Yes, they've been stringing us along, but every show there's been some sort of QR code with some sort of stupid shit. And I think at this point, the next show, which at the time of recording this is SmackDown tomorrow, that's all I can see, unless maybe they're going to wait until Saudi. But I mean, I don't think the Saudi crowd's going to be into it as much as we will.
Yeah.
I don't think they will be, but it just makes me wonder if they are going to be like, yeah, on live TV, or if they're going to be like, fuck, this will make money. We need to do it at a pay-per-view.
Well, I mean, their next pay-per-view after the Saudi show is Bash in Berlin next month. So if they wait until next month, then I agree with you. They have edged us way too long.
Yeah, that, to me, that's not a ticket seller. Like, that's not a reason people are going to buy the pay-per-view to possibly see the debut. I think the ticket seller is debut them and then see what they are going to do at said pay-per-view. That makes the most sense to me.
The pay-per-view seller is what is this crazy demon man going to do in a match? I think in terms of TV, I think especially if they're trying to do something big for the go-home show before the Saudi shows, which they usually do because they know a lot of people don't want to watch the Saudi shows. So they usually, in the past, have tried to make the go-home shows pretty damn good. So, I mean, I don't know. They used Bray Wyatt at the end of Extreme Rules to just kind of get a pop at the end. So maybe they'll do the same at King of the Ring. I don't know. I hope that they debut him soon, though.
Yeah. Sooner rather than later, that's for sure.
Yeah. Although you want to talk about other pay-per-views happening, we can also talk about AEW Double or Nothing coming out, because I do want to acknowledge I guess Darby Allin being held together by duct tape, bubble wrap, and hope. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, he got hit by a bus. What's he gonna do in 2 weeks? Oh, he's gonna be at a pay-per-view.
He fucking Darby Allin has had the roughest 2024 out of anybody out there. He got thrown off a ladder through a pane of glass, real glass, Crimea River, through real glass. Then he broke his foot. Then he got hit by a fucking bus. Who cleared him? I need to talk to this doctor, because I'm not a doctor myself, but I know that motherfucker shouldn't be wrestling. He's gonna die. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to love it. But he's going to die.
Whatever he has, I'll have double, please, because it looks like it's the good stuff at this point. If he's getting cleared to go back out there and keep throwing his body around like a frickin' rag doll.
I don't get it. And he's just like, yeah, no, it's fine. I'll keep doing it. Thanks, champ. And it's like, dude, your body is literally, you're going to sneeze one day and just explode. You're like, what happened? Oh, Darby moved the wrong way.
What do you think Darby Allin's death spot's going to be? What do you, because you know he's going to die in the ring during a match. What do you think's going to take him out?
Walking into the ring.
I think with Darby Allin finally,
I wasn't gonna say it.
I think when Darby Allin finally tragically passes away in the ring and scars us all, I think it's gonna be from some dumb shit. He's gonna jump off something and someone's not gonna catch him, and he's just gonna.
Yep. He's done all of these.
He's gonna get new jacked away.
Oh no! He's done all of these cool things of putting his body on the line to entertain us. All of these wild and crazy things that human beings should not have to put their bodies through. But I agree. It's just going to be some like monotonous thing that nobody's expecting. That just whoops. Oh, yeah. There he goes. He slipped down the steps
just like Adam Cole shattering his ankle. Just jumping off the ring or something stupid.
The daintiest opt down. Blows his ankle to smithereens.
There he goes.
You know, Adam Cole jumps off the side of a ring and shatters his ankle. Darby Allin gets hit by a bus. He still shows up to do the match, and Orange Cassidy gets a fucking pile driver on the steel steps. Back up, baby, like it was nothing.
You hear that?
Okay, I know the Orange Cassidy spot. I know it was like to make Trent look like a badass or whatever. But also, like, Doc, you took a fucking pile driver on the steel steps. Can you lay the fuck down for like 2 minutes, please? It's not even like they were short on time either. Like, can you at least pretend like that hurt? Just a bit.
Has Orange Cassidy gotten a break yet after holding like the what is it? The Continental title? What was it? The name escapes me at the moment.
Oh yeah, well they changed the name. That's why it escapes you.
I think you're right. I think
it was the All Atlantic Championship. And
All Atlantic, that's what it was.
Now it's not the All Atlantic Championship. It's the, I think, International Championship. I think is what.
Because I know he held that forever. His body was falling apart. He needed a break, and then something happened to get Tony Khan said, like, you know what? You just come back to work right away, and it felt like he just went. All right, sure. I wanted to rest.
People started shit talking Orange Cassidy online, and Tony Khan went, "Fuck you! I'm going to take that personally." And Orange Cassidy went, "Please, Tony, I need to rest.
I need to."
And he goes,
"I'm so tired.
You'll rest when you're dead."
No, okay, if you say so.
And then I get wanting to bring Orange Cassidy back. I get that. Sure, okay. At least put him in a fucking tag team. But no, they take the tag team that he's in and they split it up. Because fuck you, that's why. I don't know what the best friends can't be called the best friends anymore because they're not best friends. No,
they're just a couple friendly fellas.
Yeah, now they're just two dudes hanging out.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, if you're listening, can you please change their tag team name to Two Dudes Hanging Out? I feel like that is such a fitting tag team name for them.
That'd be so good. I understand that Trent's like not a comedy dude and he's pissed that people in AEW see him as a comedy dude, but also like you can still be a comedy dude and still like be a good wrestler in AEW. Like it's not like in WWE where people go, you're like Santino. It's like, dude, Danhausen's kicking ass in AEW whenever he's there. Like, yeah, see Dandy said, I fucking love Danhausen. The fact that you can get someone like Dandy to be into you as a comedy person in AEW shows that it's the perception that the company has. You know, it doesn't matter if Trent Beretta wants to go from, being, his mom's part of the shtick. It's not my fault that he doesn't like that Sue gets a bigger pop than him. Also, Dandy has something to add.
So it's me, Dandy. I just have one thing to add. Fucking love Danhausen. That's it.
Dandyhausen.
Special guest Dandy. Special guest Dandyhausen. First time
Special
on the
guest Dandyhausen.
program.
Twitch.tv/Dandy Dragons.
Thank you.
Dandyhausen endorsing Danhausen on this program housing.
Program housing. Ooh, podcast housing.
Danhausen from
Michigan housing.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan housing.
But yeah, that's my rant about Orange Cassidy taking a pile driver and then standing right back up.
It's still real to me, damn it. You stay down, you son of a bitch.
I just pretend. You know,
I know.
pretend. Just pretend, man.
At
That's all I
least
ask.
until like commercial or something. Throw it to commercial for God's sakes.
Count to 5 and then
That's
stand
it.
up.
Jesus.
Move your arm first so it looks like you're getting consciousness again. Like,
This how Jim Cornette feels?
I think, man. And the only reason why I'm pissed about, because I usually don't care. Like, I get it. I get that it's pro wrestling and it's fake. But, like, just the fact that it was, like, on steps, you know? It's like, there's gotta get a point where, like, honestly, it's kind of already there. Like, a Canadian destroyer, which should be more devastating than a pile driver, doesn't do anything. You know, like, they're hitting them. Dominic Mysterio is casually hitting Canadian destroyers on Raw. Like,
I forgot about that. Oh my lord.
Playing devil's advocate for that, wrestling evolves, and now Canadian Destroyer is one of those moves. It did used to be a very big finisher. Petey Williams is the one that perfected it. Petey Williams used it for a long time, and now everybody uses it. I mean, Adam Cole used it for the Panama Sunrise, all that fun stuff. But like, a suplex used to finish a match. A power bomb used to be one of those moves where you're like, "That's insane."
I just don't want to say I'm out of touch.
That move. Of course, it's a finisher. Like a diving elbow drop used to be one of those. You're like, he jumped off a where, and the person's not dead. I'm sorry, what? And
but
now
at the same
all of a sudden,
time,
the diving elbow drop is like a 1 count.
At the same time, though, Kairi Sane's diving elbow drop, like, there still are superstars that can get those moves over. The belly to belly. Exactly. It was just a belly to belly suplex, but it was still her finisher.
Exactly. And if Petey Williams still does a Canadian Destroyer, it's still a finisher there. It all depends on the person. You know, I'm sure, like, we had Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes doing the Crossroads at the same time, but now that Cody's back, Damian's not allowed to do it anymore. Granted, I think his new special looks better because he's a big fella.
Dude, Damian Priest is fucking on a roll right now.
I think I like seeing moves being used in everyday circumstances, but I also like when you can find the right person to make it a finisher. Like, you look at a super kick from anybody, and you're like, that's a super kick. You look at it from Shawn Michaels, you don't call it a fucking super kick, you call it sweet chin music. Because you're done.
From the Young Bucks, it looks like shit.
It's a super kick party.
It's a super kick party, that's right.
They need 5 of them. Because, you know, Shawn Michaels needs 1, the Young Bucks need 5. Now that makes sense. You won me over, Mike. You know what? I'm with you. Orange Cassidy can take all of the pile drivers he wants. I'm excited for the pile driver to become a transitional move. The next move that I think should become a transitional move is just a triangle choke. So that way kids do it actually for real to each other on the playground and learn that it's a real choke.
Well, kids do need to be put in their place every now and then. A little triangle choke on the playground goes a long way.
Yeah, hey, listen, man.
Please do not try this at home.
If it's good enough for the Undertaker, it's good enough for little Timmy in 5th grade.
He does the Hell's Gate. That's different.
The 3 Count It Out podcast does not endorse childhood playground violence.
Well, a little childhood playground violence.
No, Jackal Joker does not endorse childhood playground violence.
Don't try this at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
Oh my god.
The pile driver used to be a move that was in every match, and then you saw what happened. It almost killed Stone Cold.
Yeah, and also Little Billy on the fucking playground or whatever.
Nobody cares about Billy. He doesn't do anything anyways.
Wow, Mike, wow.
Okay, you heard that too. Yeah, you just became Optimus Prime.
Somebody had to say it, okay?
That's okay. That's fine.
Beep, beep, boop, boop.
He's
to
not
you too,
Stone
Mike.
Cold.
But you know what I have to say?
Yeah, break his neck.
I have to say that I no matter how many pay-per-views Saudi Arabia gets, I am still not going to go to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
No.
I'm good. Double it and give it to the next person. You know who can go, though? Our United States champion, Logan Paul, baby, as he's going for his second WWE championship match out of the 6 matches that he's had overall. Logan Paul finishing his story. Let's go.
Do you think he gets taken in Saudi Arabia?
Probably.
No.
I mean, he's the most likely out of anybody, right?
We're 2 months into a Cody Rhodes reign. Get them words out your fucking mouth. He's not losing that title.
I think.
Logan I didn't say losing.
Taken.
I said taken.
Yeah, like
as in the people of Saudi Arabia are like, you're mine now.
Yeah, and they can keep him. They can keep him.
The Prince of Saudi Arabia will take Logan Paul into his barn and start milking him for Prime or whatever.
Yeah, he can keep him.
Is that how it's made?
He's just not allowed in Japan. Two men with histories of Japan meeting in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
No. One can go back, one can't. Find out more on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
So, is this a winner take all? Is this champion is this going to be Cody 2 belts? Because that's where I am if that's the case.
Their promo on Friday didn't really make it seem like that was the case, but all the back and forth on Twitter over the past couple of days have kind of put me in the boat that okay, it does look like both belts are on the line here. Interesting.
Here's what I'm thinking. And I'm going to put this out here because I know that WWE listens to this podcast and this is going to prove it, because you can mark my words. This is going to happen. So here's what's going to happen. All right. Cody Rhodes is going to win. He's going to win the WWE Championship and the United States Championship. And he's going to look at the United States Championship and he's going to go, this isn't Dusty's belt. And he's going to get rid of it. And he's going to keep the WWE Championship. But because they have this beautiful United States Championship and they don't want to waste anything, reduce, reuse, recycle, I think they're just going to take the eagle off of the United States Championship and then find a way to make like a modern day winged eagle WWE Championship, and we can finally get rid of the title being a giant logo for marketing. That's my pitch. You could come back to this podcast in a month and I can guarantee you that will be happening on SmackDown.
In a perfect world, that does make sense, because correct me if I'm wrong, the U.S. Championship belt is the last belt that Vince designed, ?
And the Intercontinental.
And the Intercontinental, damn it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I feel like this is a very good way to get the belt off of Logan Paul, to make him still look good. The fact that he's going to be able to drop the belt to, fucking Cody Rhodes out of everybody. Cody can take the belt. I think this is a way to get a redesign to happen. Mm-hmm. And I feel it's something like Cody drops it and then there's maybe a United States tournament or something, or maybe a ladder match at Money in the Bank, or I don't know, kind of spitballing here.
Maybe a new championship with because with Raw going to streaming, and NXT will be on the CW, but that would leave Friday Night SmackDown as the only, between Raw and SmackDown, the only one of the two that's on cable television. You could have a straight up WWE TV champion on SmackDown. And I legitimately think at this point, WWE is looking at the United States Championship as basically like a social media title. It's for Logan Paul to do exactly what he's doing. He's wearing it and parading it around on everything that he's not doing that's not wrestling. He's doing everything with the title, then defending it. And that's what you do with a social media title. That's what you do with a TV title. You show up, you're there, but you never defend it. So that way you can have it for so long and you can be the face. And I think I think that's how they're treating the United States Championship, and I don't necessarily know if Triple H wants to have the United States Championship. Just because also, like, why does Berlin care about the United States Championship?
True. Very true.
Right? They're trying to be more global. Like, why do you care?
I don't hate that idea either. I really don't.
I wonder. Now, I like the TV championship idea a lot more. I wonder if they're going to do something where, I mean, it'd basically be copying AEW in a reverse way. But I wonder if they're going to be like, we have the WWE Global Championship. It's going to be defended all over the world. So they're going to do all these live events in all these other countries, and that's where the belt's defended.
Then, now, together, forever.
I think if you're going to have a title be defended all over the world, it should be your world heavyweight title.
You'd think.
That's who am I?
Spitball.
You only put world in the name, but
oof. Well, I mean,
come on now, don't be ridiculous.
But I'm still thinking that we're gonna see some. I'm still thinking that we're gonna see some title changes, and I think that there may even be. I'm thinking that they may either redesign the Intercontinental Championship once they go to Netflix, or maybe that's going to turn in. I don't think they would get rid of the Intercontinental versus the United States Championship, but I do think that there's going to be some sort of like new title popping up just to kind of really cement like this is the new era, whether it's a social media championship or a TV championship, or whatever they want to call it. I feel like if they were going to replace any singles title, it would be the United States Championship, because they haven't done shit with it.
Well, and you just had Gunther have a 666-day reign with that IC title. I don't think you can just chuck that one away yet. That one's still too prestigious, even if Sammy's done buck kiss with it so far.
Yeah, and you still have so much more that you can do with it, though. Like, you can do Sammy versus Chad.
Put it on Chad Gable?
You can put it on Chad Gable, and then once you get it on Chad Gable, like, I mean, at that point, he's just going to hold on to it forever, So, Chad Gable is going to be the new Goldberg, and he's going to be undefeated. It's going to be great. We're going to get a heel Otis, and the heel Maxine Dupree, and the heel Chad Gable, and they're never going to do the worm ever again.
Nope. Always serious all the time.
Always serious, because that's exactly what I want to see from the Alpha Academy. I don't want to see any goofiness. I don't want to see
dancing.
I don't want to see no Otis doing the worm. I don't want to see Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree becoming established and accomplished pro wrestlers while also being amazing entertainers at the same time. No, I want to see Chad Gable get angry and he goes, "Fuck you, I'm an Olympian." And then they go, "Yes, sir." And that's it. That's the character development I like, baby.
Someone give this man some Percocet.
Somebody give Chad Gable some painkillers right now. Get him hooked. Fucking shave his head. He should have been fucking Kurt Angle's son anyway.
And I feel like if we're going to go down to this topic real quick, I feel like the Intercontinental one is probably going to be the one that is going to stay the same. And I also feel like this is another way of WWE sort of fixing a mistake that they made. Because yes, as much as I cheer for Logan Paul being the United States champion, ironically, I'll say now that FGK isn't here, they kind of booked themselves into a corner with that one. Because look at Logan's track record of the people that he's worked with since being in the WWE. He's worked with Rey Mysterio, he's worked with The Miz, he's worked with Roman Reigns, Ricochet, Seth Rollins, The Rumble, and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And now he's doing a match with Cody Rhodes. He's going up against all these established people who, I'm going to say, Logan Paul is very impressive in the ring. He's going up against all these people who still kind of have to carry, the flow of the match, all of these established people who they can trust to put on a good match with Logan Paul. Say, for example, someone from NXT is coming up to try and take that United States champion off of him. I don't know, maybe an example. I know he's on the opposite brand, but say someone like an Ilya who isn't really proven too much to be able to work with all these newer people. Well, actually, shit, I think that's a very bad example because of everything he's done in NXT. Regardless, I think you're getting my point. I think this is a good way to get the U.S. title onto someone different, to keep Logan Paul looking strong, to hopefully rebrand it, because I will admit you have talked me into wanting a rebrand, and I think that'll be pretty cool moving forward as well, too.
Yeah, I just hope that whatever title they rebrand it to, I hope that it looks cool, because
simple as that.
The last WWE belts to come out have looked pretty damn nice.
You know what I want? You know what I want?
What do you want, Mike?
What, Mike?
He keeps on talking about it anyways, and he keeps on talking about how much he would enjoy being back. If we're going to have a TV title, there's one person, and he was the internet champion forever, that I think...
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Tornpeck himself.
I think would really, really be the best TV champion they could get. And it's not Zack Ryder because he's dead. It's Matt Cardona.
Who?
That would be awesome.
Oh, Edge's bitch. Got it.
Edge's bitch.
Motherfucker.
The real social media champion.
The head of the GCW right now.
Oh!
Yeah. The GM of GCW.
That too.
Yeah.
I'm open for it, man. I'm open for it. I think we got a nice pay-per-view coming up in Cleveland, Ohio. Because let's call a spade a spade. I think Matt Cardona's significantly more popular in the States than he is overseas. So I think a good old right now.
No. You'd be wrong.
I think Matt Cardona is popular everywhere he goes. I don't think there's
Matt
a spot
Cardona,
that
if you decide to pick an indie anywhere, they know him.
I've seen clips of Matt Cardona in a fucking high school gym, and people are going insane over him. Like, I think wherever he goes, I mean, I understand right now he kind of has a torn pec, so it's a little hard to wrestle. But I think wherever he winds up going, because I know he wants to stay on the indies forever, but like at a certain point, he's going to get either associated with AEW, WWE, or TNA. And wherever he goes, that company's going to be extremely lucky to have him. Because, like,
oh, did you not see his tweet?
No, what did he say?
Post.
His ex.
So
what did he
ex? He was talking about, how the Chelsea's there doing her thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would love to be back, in WWE doing that, being able to be there with her.
That'd be awesome. That'd be dope.
And I was like, fuck, if the door's open, do it. Do it, Triple H. Do it. Pull the trigger.
If you're gonna have WWE start doing, maybe they start going to like intergender tag teams, because like Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, that's what they did. She was the heater. Like she would fit in that role great. And I feel like they would have I feel like intergender matches in WWE are always like They're just different, because like on the indies, nobody gives a shit. On the indies, people are like, yeah, women can fight men if they want to. Sure. Those matches happen all the time. And when you're training, you're training with men and women. It doesn't matter. Like WWE is just like, nope, men and women can't fight on TV. Not allowed. And it's like, but they're pro wrestlers. This is the point. If dude, there are some fucking women out there that are more jacked than the Miz. Like it's fine, Like the
only reason I can see why they still do that the way they do it is, we saw the Royal Rumble where Nia took like a finisher from 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton. I think somebody else was in there too. I can't remember. But I think they do it because they're like, well, we've all seen Candice LeRae get the lumbar check from Cedric Alexander on the Indies, which was fucking hilarious. She bounces like 18 feet in the air. But I think they're like, well, what happens if they get hurt here? We have these people for a long term. We don't want people getting hurt here. And then all of a sudden, because they're on a main stage. They're like, well, it's because you had women versus men or some stupid. Like it's a cheap cop out, but I feel like that's what they're doing. You know what I mean?
I feel like their main reason for not doing it has always probably been due to the fact that they were on cable TV. Because as far as a wrestler is concerned, it doesn't matter who you're wrestling, right? Like it does to a degree, but like for the most part, your moves are your moves. Like you're gonna be taking a suplex. You know, there's only so many ways to take a suplex safely. So like a lot. Granted, I'm not the one on the podcast that's the trained pro wrestler. He's not here right now. He's fighting in the trenches of Vietnam. But like, I feel like, you know, I feel like to an extent, the risk of being injured in a intergender match versus a regular wrestling match is about the damn same. Sure, you'll probably have some variance. You know, you still may have a 300-pound man actually punching a 170-pound woman in the face if they fuck up or whatever. Sure, but like that's the same risk that you would have. You know, it's no different than fucking, you know, Spike Dudley being in a ring. Like it's the same kind of risk of injury there. I always thought it was just because they were on cable TV, which going over to Netflix, I guess we'll find out. Because if that is the case, they may not have the same rules on Netflix. I feel like right now we're kind of seeing it right now of like WWE, they're saying bitch again. I feel like when we go to Netflix, I don't think they're going to say, hey, we're back to the Attitude Era, start cussing people out. But I think they're going to be like, hey, if it fits, just don't say fuck and don't say slurs. Those are our only rules. And
I hope so.
I don't know. I feel like to an extent that's probably, especially WWE, they want to do stuff that's more like quote unquote indie stuff, but at like a bigger level now, you know, like so I feel like that may
that's because
be
they have somebody
going,
that actually watches the program now.
Right. And yeah, they have people that, you know, actually like pro wrestling, writing a pro wrestling show for once. You know, it's not just Vince McMahon trying to make a cash grab for toy sales. Like, I feel like when we get to Netflix, it's going, like, I feel like Raw is going to become a much different show than SmackDown. And at that point, it's going to be very apparent of like what you can and can't do on cable TV. Because like, you know, one show they're going to be fine, and the other show they're going to be, you know, they're still going to be shackled by whatever dumb archaic rules the FCC has. Rules that Harrison Butler probably agrees with.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Bring it all full circle.
Wrapped it back up to the beginning of the show. Man, you're getting good at this little hosting stuff. Look at you.
Listen, man. Listen, we're an hour and a half in. We can start to wrap it up.
We've only been doing it for 20 weeks at this point.
Yeah, 19. Next episode is episode 20.
It's already been 19 weeks.
Next episode 20. And then the week after that, we'll be able to drink.
Yeah, we're almost up to take a shot.
Our podcast will be legal.
You know who is turning legal tonight? Friend of the program, Lions Fury.
Special football correspondent.
Special football correspondent.
You should ask when he wants to come back on now.
Our friend Blast. Well, maybe we'll get him back on the program one day. Turning 21 tonight. Little happy birthday shout out. Happy birthday shout
Blast.
out,
Blast. Happy birthday.
Special guest.
Big beautiful boy.
I'm drinking at his house legally.
Hell yeah.
Legally, man.
Legally drinking.
Always fun to do it legally.
I didn't realize he just turned 21.
Yeah, I think it's his 21st birthday tonight. Well, I think I've gotten all I needed to get off my chest. About you fellas?
I'm good. Mike, you got anything else you want to talk about?
You know, my chest is pretty clear. I'm just hoping that we don't see the death of Darby Allin.
Well, I mean, that's all. There's only one way to find out. I mean, I guess if Darby Allin does die, we will cover it here. So make sure that if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and then hit that little bell. So that way, if Darby Allin does die, you can see as soon as we post the episodes. Spoiler alert, we post the episodes every Saturday at noon, provided we don't miss it. But If you are over on Spotify, you can go ahead and hit that follow button. And if you have listened this long, it means that you can rate the podcast and you've probably liked it. So just go ahead and, leave a 5-star rating.
100%.
Also, if you're on Spotify, there's a Q&A running. The Q&A on YouTube is just in the comments. But if you're on Spotify, only on Spotify mobile, I don't know why. Don't ask me. I'm not the one that decided that. But only on Spotify mobile, you can submit a question for the Q&A. And we will read the questions off on stream as they come in. Or on stream. Fuck. We will read the questions off on the podcast as they come in. But speaking of streaming, if you want to see more of me, you can go over to twitch.tv/Era V1, or I'm also over on YouTube at Era V1 Music.
Jack, where can they find you?
If you enjoyed anything that I did, you could send candygrams to P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Or if you don't have the money for international shipping, youtube.com/Jackal Joker or twitch.tv/Jackal Joker work just as well.
Can you send
wait. What was that? What was that first one? Hold on.
Candygrams to P. Sherman, 42
P. Sherman.
Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Sherman like the tank?
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Or Sherman, like Richard Sherman, like he beats his wife, Richard Sherman, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, no,
he's the alcoholic. Come on.
Oh,
now.
sorry. Dang it. Oh, I'm getting them confused. My bad.
Are these two things different, though?
They could be one and the same, you could
Some
argue.
would say being an alcoholic and beating your wife allegedly go hand in hand.
And if you enjoyed what Mike produced, you can find him in line at your local Wendy's ordering a $5 biggie bag to go.
I don't blame it.
And a Frosty. Always a Frosty.
And
of
a
course.
Frosty.
Why else
And
would you go to a
Frosty.
Wendy's?
Can't forget a Frosty.
Right? If you're not getting a Frosty, what are you doing there?
They have like an orange. They got an orange dreamsicle Frosty now. That thing
Speaking
is
of-
delicious.
I know you guys are going to be in line behind me, but if you don't mind, I'm going to look up at the board while I make my decision.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I can wait.
I'm just gonna walk behind Mike and not be suspicious here. And
you can go.
Count it, ref.
2 and 3 and
It's a slow count. It's a 1, 2, 3, but I'll take it. We'll work on your referee skills.
I was too busy. I'm still looking at the menu. I don't know what I want yet. Mike got his stuff in the order.
Doesn't matter. You got to be ready at all times. All time, every time. Mike, I'm sorry I hit you in the dick, but I had to bring you down. I had to keep you looking strong. If I had to keep you looking strong.
Oh, I think I made a mistake.
I'm not the Young Bucks. I can't do 5 super kicks. My legs don't get up that high. So I had to find another way to bring you down.
He kicked me in the belly button.
I thought I was counting it good.
Did you get the achievement yet for refereeing a special guest referee match and not fucking it up?
Yep.
I can't get that achievement.
My only one I did. I got it, and I was like, oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I immediately got the
Way to
screw
go,
job
me.
one.
Nice. Strong work.
But I can't be a good referee.
It's
know about
something
that.
within my DNA that I got to be a fucking bitch for and fuck somebody over. It's like, you're gonna give me the ability to. I'm gonna do it.
Just make Logan Paul overall as low as possible. And there you go.